in spite of four different governments which came into place over the last full year. And in its own quiet way, I think Tamil Nadu government has done some new initiatives and sustained some of the older initiatives. I like to speak not my entire 45 minutes. I wanted to just trigger a few thoughts and receive questions. That's a little easier. So I would play it that way. So Tamil Nadu, as you know, is the second strongest state from an economy point of view. Here is a state with 4% of India's geography, 6% of India's population, and about 8.4% of India's GDP. To put that in perspective, we have not achieved this overnight. It's happened post 67. I mean, very important departure in the economic history of India. The first 20 years of Tamil Nadu, we were largely on par with our population. Our population has been 6% of India, and our GDP was 6% of India. Today, our population remains, probably 5.8% of India, but our GDP is 8.4% of India. And if you look at the many things which are positive, which have happened, we have pioneered in industrial promotion. The idea of a SIPCOT, idea of a SIPCO, idea of a TIC, idea of in a place called Pattabhiram. So that place is getting converted a month ago, and in a way we are monetizing it is because of some of these things which we've been doing in this state. I think one thing which we wanted to do, which we like to see happen in this year, are the incubators. The college incubators, which is again we were pioneers in announcing, but we have not yet started it up, where every college along with the EDC. EDC is given by the UGC, Entrepreneurship Development Center, but the incubator which is supposed to be attached to it, Tamil Nadu government announced one per district kind of a thing. We hope that this year we'll be able to operationalize this. That's under the Higher Education Ministry. I think in terms of social entrepreneurship, I not like to confine myself to only the business entrepreneurship. I think we've had some classy institutions, world-class social entrepreneurs have risen from here. Banyan is a classic example. You have many of them. I can at least reel off 10 institutions which have real world-class social entrepreneurship, who have availed patient capital, who have availed capital in this model of grants and things like that. And I think in my view, Tamil Nadu is a great blend of business entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. And I would imagine this is the reason why in the last 6 years, every year, Tamil Nadu's GDP has grown at a faster rate compared to Indian GDP. Though it could have done far higher. I mean, I would not a moment say that we are doing our best or anything like that. All kinds of entrepreneurs used to come from there. I suspect that as much as our competing states for entrepreneurship, in my view. So, in fact, much above Maharashtrian growth rate, which in the last 6 years we've been able to set the tone for one of the top 3 GDP per capita states in the country, as Amma mentioned, per capita, which would take us to what is now. If you do a $10,000 by 2023 per capita, then we would be in the as a government, as Amma's government, this government would be listening to what on cluster in Virudhunagar. Very interesting collaboration. It's happening in my view.